about Mama John's, as they call it on the street, I heard outside the tube, MJs, which is for all the street people here. And that got me thinking, MJ, some great famous people we've had called MJ. MJ Cole, record producer, Mary J. Blige, but of course, the most famous person with the initials MJ, who, let's be honest, half the world loved him, the other half weren't really sure about him, they couldn't make their mind up about him, and even in death, people are still not sure, is it a farce, is he still alive? Of course, we are talking about a great showbiz legend, Mr. Jesus. I made up the tune away up there. Obviously it needs a little work, but there we go. Are there any Americans in? I know there's a lovely Australian lady here. Any Americans in? Apparently they don't get irony. Well, which is very bizarre, because this week we all know that lovely people up in Scotland let one of the Lockerbie bombers go. And the Americans obviously is a big furore about this. We can't do this, it's not right, human rights. However, we've also found out that the CIA have been subcontracting out their torture parties. So obviously the irony is still lost on our American friends. And Sky Sports last night, for some of the football people in it, there was an important game at Upton Park on Tuesday night between East London and South London, West Ham and Mill. We've all seen the pictures, all the violence. Anybody got any tellies there? You might be all poor, surely. Anybody see this? Yeah. Violence? Yeah. Oh, say it a bit loud, a bit enthusiasm. Yeah, good stuff. On the Sky Sports News panel, we've got Phil Thompson lecturing people from West Ham about crowd violence at football games. I found that very ironic. Well, we'll move on to the comedy now. That's the boring stuff out of the way. If anyone has seen me before, was that laughter? I'm sure I have. Tracking down whoever it was that laughed. I think you've seen me before. I normally have a t-shirt, Mr. Tickle, on it. Unfortunately, Mr. Tickle's been booked for another gig tonight, so he can't make his way here. He sends his apologies. But he has asked me to carry on the story. Now, Mr. Tickle, when I was growing up, was my favourite character. You know, you were down in the dumps, you felt depressed. You know, you just looked at Mr. Tickle with his arms, you thought, oh, look at him. He can just tickle me now and put a smile on my face. That's the sort of image that Mr. Tickle has cultivated. However, I've looked into Mr. Tickle's history a little bit more in depth, and this guy has a very, very sinister side to him, and a long criminal record. Because if you've got long arms, there's only one job in the world that you can do. Don't be sent into the gutter, ladies or gentlemen. This guy was a professional pickpocketer. That's what he does with his long arm. And if you're unlucky enough to catch him removing your wallet from your back pocket, he comes up with his caveat, I'm Mr. Tickle. I only wanted to tickle the bottom, I didn't want to steal your wallet. Now, where I live, if you're a stranger and you're tickling a stranger's bottom, that makes you a fucking nonce. So, if anybody's wondering whether I'm a nonce for a pickpocket, Louis, I've got your wallet here, my good friend. So you can quell those rumours about me right there. Now, the definition of unlucky, apart from being up here with a bad microphone and not hearing any laughter, is, going into DFS, which is obviously bad enough. But how unlucky would you feel if you were the only person in the world that went in and paid £3 for a sofa? Wouldn't that make you feel absolutely gutted, wouldn't you? And you've gone in and you thought, do you know what, I only need a 3-piece sofa. And for some of the younger people in the 70s, 3-piece sofas were all the rage. That's all you needed. But now, of course, you have to have a 16-piece sofa. You get it home, you know, it's in the living rooms, the bathrooms, in the kitchen. This thing's fucking breathing like rabbits. So anyway, you sit down in a 16-piece Moroccan leather sofa. Of course it's Moroccan, made in China, in the sweatshop. So anyway, you sit down, you turn the telly on, DFS adverts there of course, this is on the loop, isn't it? Every fucking 10 minutes, DFS is there, the white middle class readers jumping up and down on the same settee, mentally masturbating, because they're only going to pay 300 quid. And if that's unlucky, what about when they ask for the 4 years interest-free credit? By which time DFS is out of business, and it will cost them absolutely fuck all for the same sofa that's cost you £3 grand. That is the definition of unlucky. Right, let's move on to something that is really, really funny at the bottom of my wrist. Climate change. A bit illegal. Now you're probably thinking that's a serious subject, John, it doesn't deserve your sort of sarcasm and mockery. You're probably right, but it's my gig and I'll fucking do whatever I want up here. Including making breathe if you laugh before I go. Now the problem with climate change is, basically there's too many cars on the roads, pollution, CO2 emissions. So what we need to do, we've got the problem, the solution. How do we reduce the number of cars on the road? Well, you're probably thinking, what do you know, Mr. Tickle? Well, I'm going to win a Peace Prize next year, the Nobel Peace Prize 2010, with my cutting-edge, revolutionary idea of removing or cutting down the number of car emissions. It's a simple one. Kill all driving instructors. Now, there's a few of you clever in here who are probably a bit ahead. Come back. You've all paid £3 to get in, even my humble self. What we will do, we will we'll have a nationwide franchise where we will teach all these people, all these students, to kill driving instructors. But of course, we'll charge them 30 quid a week, 30 quid a lesson, 2 lessons a week, stretch it out. You don't want to teach too much too quickly to these people, do we? God forbid they pass the test straight away. So we string it out for 4 months. We'll fail 75% of the students. Does this all sound familiar? No? No one's obviously gone through the rigmarole of failing their test. There's one guy, thank God, my brother. You probably think, well, that sounds very good, JP, but what sort of name could you put on this school? Well, you've heard of the BSM, British School of Smokering. We christened it to the British School of Murdering. See? There's all clever stuff. There's nothing always look at, but there's a bit of thinking going into some of this stuff. Let's have a lucky dip, JP, and go for the mobile phone. Now, the mobile phone, apparently there's a new Nokia, the 96, 97 has come out. Is it anybody got any interest at all? Probably no one's got your phone. Or we're still using the fax machines. But anyway, there's a new phone coming out apparently, and it's so good that it'll actually help you win Come Dine With Me. That's how good it was. But the idea is that the phone in the 80s when it was invented was, you ring someone up, say hello to make their day. That's all the phone did. But now, this phone is actually taking over the jobs of products, putting people out of business. Things like the file fax. You know in the 80s, if someone was foolish enough to book you for a comedy gig the second time round, you put it on your in the file fax in your diary. You don't do it anymore, because it's on your phone. If you wanted to go into selling drugs, but you're shit at maths, all them 8s and 16s and 4s, they're a little bit technical in the brain, you'd buy a calculator, wouldn't you? But nowadays the calculator's on your phone. Now you wonder where I'm going with this, so I'm going to speed up because the lights are flashing. MJ's calling me. What's going to happen in the future is your orgasm is going to be targeted by the mobile phone. And how this works is, in the not too distant future, you attach a minuscule SIM card to your genitals. And notice I wasn't bold with there, use either of the C words there. Can't spell cock. So anyway, you go on this pornographic website and you'll download the appropriate text, depending on what sort of sex you're into. If you're really kinky, you might be in the sex with one person. Oh, that's very rare. So anyway, you're there, you download the text, you're fully aroused, you press the send button, and the text goes straight to your genitals, instant orgasm. Now, to some guys in the room who are worried about arriving early, which is a technical term for premature ejaculation, I thought this, always thinking, you join the 3 network, you could be waiting days, possibly fucking weeks for that text and orgasm to arrive. Right, I think I've been quite good tonight, but we can't always go by the level of laughter in the room, so just imagine that Mr. Tickle is in the room and he's tickling every one of you, on your genitals, on your arms, anywhere but everywhere to make you guys laugh, so it sounds like I've done half a decent job tonight. We've got some great acts coming up later. Spread the word about MJ. That's not Jesus, it's Mama Jong. Thank you.